All right, YouTube, this is 2 Cent back with my 2 cents on Echoes of Mana. I've been kind of quiet about the game the last couple days because I was waiting. We had the Japanese live stream earlier today, and I don't speak Japanese at all, but I do have the screenshots that has been Google translated for you. It should give us a rough idea of the really exciting things that are coming to the game, and we should see something in the English version kind of detailing what's going to be happening in the next couple days. But let's get into it. All right, so they just had some kind of questions from the players and kind of been putting their responses up here. So it looks like they're going to make an adjustment. People had talked about the main quest was getting too difficult, especially for maybe free-to-play players. Even people who have spent quite a bit of money. I have noticed that the quests have gotten quite a bit harder. They look like they're going to restructure or readjust, make some difficulty a little bit easier for the main story quests. It looks like that'll be happening about mid-August. Along with that, they're also going to do a training promotion campaign, which will give some more training materials to help out folks to get their units all leveled up. All right, for the next one here, I really like this one. The translation got a little jumbled up, but what I've gathered is that they are adding 2 different ways of getting some extra Benevodons. One of them is going to be kind of like a shard way where you collect a few different shards, kind of put it into a hole, and then you'll be able to get a Benevodon that way. And then the second one is one that they had talked about before, where we take our extra 4-star characters. Looks like by selling 4 of those that you can get a generic Benevodon to be able to use to dupe up another one of your characters, which, a 4 for 1, I can kind of see where that making sense. I was really hoping it was going to be less, but we know from the other Rabbite shop that it probably wasn't going to be. So if you're looking to see what that kind of conversion rate's going to be, it's going to be a 4 for 1. Now, they're talking about 100th anniversary. Obviously, nothing has been around for 100 years, Echoes Mana related. What they're talking about is 100 day of since release on that. So you can see that in the small print there. So moving on to the next one. They're going to make some adjustments to the equipment dungeons. This I'm really liking to see. It has been more of a hassle the last week or so of just having to log in and burn all my energy on days that I'm maybe a little bit busy, with new games coming out and just life in general. I need to be able to auto some of these stages a little bit easier, and they're going to change the equipment dungeon around. So they're going to change the story around, adjust that down a little bit, and they're going to adjust down the equipment farming stages. That should make it so much easier to go in there so you can get geared up so that you can have an easier time in the rest of the content as well. So now this is 2 cent later in editing. I do want to make sure that change for the equipment dungeon to adjust them down, that is something that they are reviewing and not guaranteed that we're getting. But I do expect that they will adjust that down, but right now it is not guaranteed. They're looking to also improve the AI support. They kind of stated that as something that they're going to work on towards a late July, which we did see this notice before, and in early August. So we should be seeing that in the next couple weeks, and definitely going to be excited to see what kind of changes they really make to it. All right, now this is another screenshot that didn't translate real well when I was doing my translating, and what I can gather from it is that they're, taking some consideration about adding some better rewards or additional rewards from some different quests there. But then at the second part, it looks like somebody's talking about less content that's being reused. We keep getting the same event roughly over and over, or sometimes the same boss, over and over and over. And they're just saying, hey, can we get less of that? So they do mention that they're adding new content that's coming. And in addition to that, they'll be renovating the old content and adding new as needed. To me, it's like, renovated how? I mean, technically you can say the way you reuse the events now have been renovated. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what will change with it. Now, here's going to be our roadmap for August. We're going to get this event called Maze of the Labyrinth. We're going to kind of see a little bit of that later on. And we have our 4th sort of Bravers Arise event that's going to be roughly the same time of the month that it's been the last 2 months. And we're also going to get a release for that 100-day anniversary. That should be coming up in just about a week here, where we'll start seeing rewards from that. as well as we're going to get some extra tower floors added around the middle of the month, and there's going to be a new 5-star character that they kind of hinted at in before news coming with that as well. Here's just a quick look at that event that's going to be starting on the 31st. And of course, with the new event, we're going to be getting some new characters. So there's kind of a little spotlight for them. Obviously, when they come out, we'll get a little bit closer and a little bit more detailed on their look. I don't want to go into their kit and then have it translation just not be what I want it to be. You can kind of pause if you want to try and take a look, just so you can kind of get an idea if that's what you would like to do. Now, this is going to be one of the big ones, this kind of celebration they were talking about for 100 days of release. To commemorate that, they're going to be giving us up to 40 gacha tickets with login bonuses, and that we can be able to get up to 100 gacha tickets will be presented through bingo boards and other descriptions that are going to be later given to us. So that's going to be 100 free polls. But the caveat is that it's only going to contain the characters and memory gems up until the June release. So I think just basically the units that they're showing down below will be the only ones that will be on those. Anything that's happened in the last, month of July and whatnot is just not going to be on those banners. So don't expect to see those units or those memory gems. But it will definitely be nice to be able to pick up some of these old ones, and it might be a nice chance for some of us out there to maybe kind of finish out a couple of units, or to pick up Sumo or something like that. That'll be really nice for folks' accounts going forward. Here's just a quick peek at those next tower stages and the boss that's going to be at the end of those. Doesn't give a whole lot of information, but we are getting that. And there's going to be a new 5-star unit to be able to be gained from the tower with this one. Now, onto the new content they're coming. Once again, I was kind of excited to see what this new content was going to be, but I'm also now a little let down because it's still just going to be a solo battle content. I like the idea. I kind of like the feel of it. I just wish we could bring some friends and have some more community in the game. But there's going to be bosses that are going to be coming out. And with those bosses, it seems like the damage that you inflict on them is going to carry over. So it's going to be more of those kind of mega boss things where you're kind of probably limited amount of tries and you're just trying to see how quickly you can get it down, probably within a certain time period. I don't know. We'll see in late August exactly how that's implemented. All right, that brings us to the end of the kind of live stream and the kind of Google translating that I was working on doing for this. There are some other sort of more in-depth pieces about the event and about the units that, like I said, I'm going to wait until I get the English versions and a little bit closer and kind of do my kind of normal dive into the event and should you pull those units. So please check out some of these other videos if you haven't seen them yet, and that's my 2 cents.